where are we at?
Cool. Where we are at is we are at that thing that I've experienced a few times in my life where it's not, oh, I had to think about this idea or I had to think, what am I gonna do? No, it's like people sometimes say like a download or something. And uh whatever that means, I don't mean that in any you know, weird way, but it's like boom, and it's like, wow, okay. And actually, in that call that I sent you, there's that moment where the name came to me, and it's kind of part of that download. It's like, yes, the wording, that's exactly what it is. Um, and I've had the same with the retreat, and I've had the same with my festival. And 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 this is a special kind of creation process that's just like, wow, it's actually all already there. All I just have to do is just do all the steps. But that's kind of just material, removing some obstacles, adding some ingredients, doing the things. But actually, it already exists. Now Cozy seems frozen. Ah, okay, yeah. So basically, the whole idea came to me not so long ago. Like in the past 1 or 2 weeks, I was like, yes, I've been looking for, I want to do something bigger or longer or more impactful. And now it just became clear to me that it's this. Concretely, I kind of defined how this container, what it could look like. So I imagined 5 weekends from Friday evening to Sunday end of day with a number of Zoom calls in between. Um, I imagine that this happens in Berlin. I was originally imagining that it wouldn't be with sleeping over and eating together, but rather a daytime program where people bring their own meals. But then when Cozy popped into my head and you have the Taka house, that opened the possibility of, oh, maybe it would be a full weekend immersion, which can change the finances. That's my main reason why I didn't want to do that. Um, yeah, so I put these dates kind of between end of October until I think beginning of April or something, which I think is a good time window because it falls outside the summer thing, and it also gives enough time for promotion. Um, because I asked my coach, how long do you need to promote something like this? And she said half a year, um, which we roughly have then. So that's great. Um, uh, I I I have the idea that part of these weekends, or at least part of the program, is that we put up events for others. So for example, if let's say the third gathering would be again from Friday night until Sunday end of day, maybe the Saturday evening is a public event, for example, or an event where people can invite some of their friends. Or but part of the program is that we again create something for others, right? Because it's a program for people who want to be ambassadors, who want to create. And I also imagine that in between the weekends, there's an invitation for people to put up events. Even uh, it could be as simple as inviting 10 people for a sharing circle at home. It doesn't have to be rocket science, and it's not necessarily paid events, but to actually start doing things in their lives, in the world, become these ambassadors for humanity at the at a simple level, right? Relatively simple level. Might be very challenging for some people, but that's the edge, right? And also these calls in between, I don't imagine necessarily we would be the ones, facilitating these calls from beginning to end. Maybe the first few calls, but at some point these calls become a group responsibility. What do we do with this? Where do we want to take this container? So so there's a lot of emergence and a lot of co-creation and a lot of left open to be figured out in the process what this is actually going to be. Yeah. Mm. And then I don't know, the two of you, I felt a call. Ava, I felt a call like, ah yeah, this would be a team where where it's like, oh wow, we really each add, a thing, and it's like, wow, this could be really strong and powerful together. And um, you each ask me different questions in return, and you each, Cozy's like, yeah, but what about this thing? It's like, okay, great. That's why I invite you because because you asked that question. Um, I don't need, a few clones of me. That wouldn't get us very far. I think there's like the Venn diagram, right? Where we need enough difference and enough overlap. Um, and yeah, yeah, I think that's roughly what we have so far.